Sup, gamers?
Hello, we went to Comic Con again, but this time we had a stall.
We were artists, not people.
We didn't take that many videos or photos, so we can't do like a full vlog style thing. We were selling stuff, which took up most of our time.
I know, we were doing quite well actually compared to Hyper Japan. You know, that video took us over a month to make, and this one will take like 2 to 3 weeks at this rate.
Yeah, well, hopefully the editing doesn't take too long, because we do have about 1 million other videos to work on at the moment. But I figured might as well get it done, because like we mentioned on a Patreon post that we would.
Yeah, so we owe it to you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking first we just kind of show the stuff we bought, and then we can talk about the convention as a whole after.
Yeah. So we both did a bit of wandering around. We basically had a rule for ourselves that we would only spend the cash, so we didn't do any card payments at all, I don't think.
I think I might have bought 1 or 2 things, but it was like food.
So we kind of waited till like later on Saturday and on Sunday to go and buy stuff. But we did also chat to people. We went around and spoke to a bunch of different artists.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was nice kind of having, again, like with Hyper Japan, that immediate rapport, because it's like, oh yeah, like I'm also here, I'm over in the creator section, and then getting to kind of like talk to people about ourselves, basically.
Yeah, although I was getting a bit sick by the end, so I had like a headache and a sore throat, and I was wandering around like, I don't know who you are. Although we did both independently go to someone again.
Yeah, because the thing we normally do, I say normally, done it twice now, is give people our little frog stickers. So I gave someone a little frog, and then you independently also gave someone a little frog?
Yeah, they were like, wait, I've seen that before, and turned around their like card machine stand, and it was on the back, which was very cute. But anyway, let's talk about some things we bought.
This I got for subscribing to someone's Instagram.
Ooh, that's a good...
Yeah, it's nice, right? And I was like, you know, free print. It was like, it's an original character. I was like, cool. And then I took it and I left.
I got this one, a little cat's protection pin, because I was walking by this, you know, cat's protection stall, and the woman came out to me and she was like, do you like cats? And I was like, yes. And I unwittingly entered a 5-minute unskippable cutscene where she talked to me about cats, and then when I said I was going to leave, she kind of kept going like, oh, but you have some money now. You can do this now. You get this if you do it now. And I was like, no, I'm good actually, thank you. Like, I don't have any money.
I'm poor. I'm here to make money.
Yeah.
Just a little guy, because I love it.
In that case, that's the one I bought the Wooper from.
Ah, very nice. I did that little gacha, and I got these as well. So this one is an elephant seal, who is, I would argue, not a little guy. He's quite big. And a snail, and then they gave me this one for free because it's a little misprinted and it's a little frog, so I was like, I will come back with a frog for you, and then I did.
Okay, on to something I bought. I got these 2 gorgeous prints for, I think, 50p each.
Damn, that's so cool though.
Yeah, they were just in like a box, and they're so like fun, I guess. Like the sketchy art style is really interesting, and I don't know why they weren't going, because I really like them. Mothman, I think they're really nice.
I'm gonna have to like try and work out whose was what as well with the business cards.
Yeah.
But I got this one, which is really cool. Like, you don't tend to see like pixel art stickers.
Although, speaking of, since then I saw a person whose whole thing is making pixel art stickers on TikTok.
Good, because it's really fucking cool. Like, it's super clean. And I was like, you know, silence car. But I was like talking to the guy, and I was like, is it for something, or do you just like doing pixel art? And he was telling me about the game he made that utilizes these designs, and I think that's a really cool thing. And I really, really fucking like it. It's got that kind of like, you know, like retro kind of vibe with the coloring too. Like, it's really
Feels
good.
like it could have been on a Game Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
So this one I wandered by and got like 2. So I got one when I went by first, and I got a second business card when I got that print. I was standing there for ages because she was talking to someone else. And I was just like, I don't know what to get. They're all so pretty. This is the most I spent on a promo there, I think. But it wasn't that much, like £5, £3, £4, £5, something like that.
It's so pretty though.
But it's really pretty. So I asked, like, oh, you know, what is it called? Because I was like, oh, it's like a geisha, or is it something like that? Mermaid. It's like, yeah, I guess you could call that a mermaid. But yeah, by this point in the day, I was a little bit delirious. So I was like, your art is really weird. I like it. And I walked away like, why the fuck did I say that? That was stupid. That was one of the more awkward interactions I had, but the art's gorgeous. That is the business card, and that is the QR code.
I cannot remember who I got this from. I would be able to kind of reverse engineer it if I looked at the map of the creators, I think. But it was just like a little 50p sticker, and I like Canna, so I got it, and we had a nice chat, so that was nice. This person, I'm pretty sure, yeah, like all of their art was traditional, so it was like all pencil drawings, which you kind of can't tell with the teeny tiny sticker. But on the bigger prints, like, it was really effective. It looked really cool, like, having that texture that had been scanned in.
Up next, I've got 2 little 50p comics. I will take the price off when I gift them as a present, but it's going to go to your dad probably for Christmas. I don't know if he likes either of these stories, but I thought it would be a nice, like, extra thing to gift.
I definitely feel like he appreciates quantity.
I picked these up, but I figured you could talk about them because they're both from the Sweatdrop.
Yeah, Sweatdrop. So this is an independent comic publisher who I spoke to last Comic Con and got very emotional over because I really like what they do and it's really fucking cool and nice. I actually ran into a few independent publishers this time. One of them specifically for TTRPGs, but like, it's so cool it exists.
It's fun. I just like that it exists, and we should maybe say hello, like,
yeah,
get involved somehow, because it's really cool.
Cool. So I got this from Goodlouse. We had a nice chat. It was very nice. He scanned the QR code I had stuck to myself because I keep forgetting to carry business cards around, and I got this little Pillbugs one, and I want to put it somewhere to remind me to take my pills, but I don't know where I would see it consistently.
On your desk.
But if I'm at my desk, I'll take the pills, because that's where the pills are. It's if I don't go to the desk that there's an issue.
Stick it to the TV.
I was thinking maybe on my phone case.
Oh yeah, that would work too.
Yeah. But then, like, if I put it there and I see it loads, is it gonna become like an alarm fatigue thing and I don't see it anymore? And it's a really cute sticker, so it deserves somewhere nice. It's tricky.
Stick it to the freezer.
So, independent publishers. This I got from the TTRPG people because the guy looked at me and then went, you look like someone who'd be interested in gay disaster vampires. And I was like, tell me more, sir.
You were in fact dressed as, how did you describe it? Time goth?
Yes, I was in my time goth outfit. And he had a very good sales pitch. So I ended up buying this. So this is, I believe, on Kickstarter. But this is like the first, like, 5th of the RPG, and it's about kind of like a one final night of trying to reclaim how cool it felt to be alive. It's called Paint the Town Red, and it sounds pretty cool. And this was like £10, which, you know, I'm pretty sure it's still a complete experience. It's just, I believe it's only one setting, and then there'll be more settings coming out.
I'm totally down to play that, maybe record it as well.
Like, it seems super fun. I'm pretty sure it's like, it's kind of, I like mentioned like it seemed like 1,000-year-old vampire, but I think you need 2 people for it.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I was like super down to pay 10 quid for this. I was really concerned how much it was going to be when I asked.
Yeah.
Because I had like, I think like £14 in cash on me, so I was like, please don't be more than that. But no, I'm happy to spend a tenner on that. Like, you know, hopefully they'll get to make more because of it, and the Kickstarter will do well, which is, I believe, in there.
We'll link it in the description.
Yeah.
Either way. This is just a business card, but I had a very similar interaction where I went up and they were talking to me about their book and it sounded really cool, and then they were like, and you could buy one now and you get all this special stuff, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to spend 20 quid on a book that I may or may not read because I only have like £10 in my pocket of cash.
It was definitely an effective system for stopping us spending all of the money we have made, because we needed that for rent.
Yeah, actually, it worked really well because we needed to count everything at the end of the day, so we couldn't spend anything we'd made that day. So on Sunday, we spent the money we made, or some of the cash we made on Saturday.
Ah, yes. Again, I will need to check who this is from. But this was like another one where it was in like a discount bin. And I was like looking at it, and she saw me looking at it, and she was like, oh yeah, it's just because like it's folded here and I hate it. And I was like, I don't know who it is, but I have to save her from that. Because like,
I like her little sleeve arm.
Yeah, I think it's a VTuber. A lot of her art was VTubers from what I remember, but it's so sparkly, and this will be going above my PC. So this person did it actually, and we did it on our prints. But like, please put your name on the back.
Yeah, it's really helpful. So we did speak to a few people, kind of around us in the creator section we got the most speaking time because they were nearby.
Yeah, we could kind of dart off for 5 minutes.
So we both very awkwardly spoke to Eddache, who was directly across from us.
Yep, came across totally normal and not like freaks.
Yeah, totally normal, and not that we were like, oh god, huge YouTuber. But I did speak to PenPen, and he signed this free card of him.
Oh, it's the Excel Center in the background, that's really
Oh
cute.
my god, is it? I didn't notice, that's
Yeah.
adorable. So that was really fun, and I went and gave a frog to Raine Gaming, who you spoke to more, but I got a free thing, because I gave a frog. And these are really cool, by the way, the art's really nice.
Yeah, she does her own art, because like we were talking about how like we thought it would be more YouTuber-y focused, but it was kind of more artist focused.
Yeah, because you want to make money, right?
Yeah, and we were like, because she was like, you know, I kind of had these around from other stuff. And I was like, yeah, like, we've also done it, but it would be nice if it was like more overtly creatory, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what they could do to change it, because like, you know, if you put in any kind of limitation, then, you know, you're gonna screw people over from making money.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice, I guess, if there was more of a focus on advertising the like content as opposed to the art, but I just don't know how you do it.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. But I got given this sticker. Now, I don't know anything about My Little Pony, I'm not a My Little Pony fan, but it was this little girl and her mum, and the little girl was talking about the stickers and she wanted to get some, and then the mum was like, oh, don't you make stickers? And like put her on the spot. And she was like, yeah, but they're not very good, and she was really shy about it, and then offered this to me, and I was like, that is so sweet. So I was like, would you like a free sticker back, like a sticker trade? And she looked so happy, and I was like, that's so cute. So that was my favorite interaction.
Oh, that is really cute.
And you know what, they're pretty cute. I don't know if the art's made or if it's just printed out and cut out, but that was such a sweet interaction where like the mum like really forced her to have a social interaction, and she was not excited about it.
Like, what's that thing you do again with
Yeah.
the computer?
Yeah, and she was like, oh, but they're not very good. I think she was very intimidated by like, because I was like glossy, and I was like, ours are just printed out as well. Like, it's not, it's no different aside from like the quality of paper.
That paper isn't exactly expensive.
Yeah.
I got this. It's for a game called Blueprints. I've played the free demo more than is legally allowed, and so I was like, I'm gonna go play Blueprints. Let me just go take a small break to play a video game we have at home. And I got there, I skipped through the entire tutorial, I was fucking like speed running it, and I then proceeded to play like the worst game of it in my fucking life. So the demo was over real quick. It was interesting, it was limited to 20 minutes, which I feel is actually quite long for a demo at like a event. But yeah, it did not take me 20 minutes because I killed myself pretty immediately. But they had little stickers. Oh, hell yeah. Good shit.
Nice.
Good job, guys. And then I was like talking to him because it's like a publisher. The publisher had the stall, so it wasn't the actual dev. But it's like, it's been in production for like 8 years, so I was like, how's that release schedule going? And he was like, well, the dev's like, you know, adjusting things. So, you know, maybe someday it'll come out.
That's very funny.
I feel like there should be more things.
Well, yeah, we bought a lot more things, but a lot of them are gifts. So I'm doing a advent calendar for you this year.
You want to show your progress on the
Yeah,
advent
go on
calendar?
then. I've sewn 3 of these on so far. So I'm very behind. I've got the rest of this month to do it.
That was my gift to you last Christmas.
Yeah, and I've been doing it slowly.
I bought you an advent calendar to make me. It's because you said you wanted to.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like, so I got you a bunch of little things which are somewhere. I'll find them by Christmas. But no, so like a lot of the stuff we can't show because, like, you know,
It's gifts for each other.
we'd see it in the video or the editing, and so we can't really get around it. But yeah, maybe we'll do a Christmas what we got.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to do maybe some kind of TikTok advent thing again, because we did a couple of years ago and we enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was fun. We did it because we got a really cool advent calendar. It was like an escape room.
Yes.
But it was like super interactive and had like little puzzles. It was really cool. But this time we're gonna try and do like, I guess, more of a content-y advent calendar and make a video for like 24 days, maybe 25, we'll see.
Yeah, but I'm not making them daily. I will, in fact, be doing them ahead of time. Although I have to edit this, and then we've got a big main channel video that's in production, and then we've got all these small ones. So, you know, it's going to be a bit of a mess, but
It's fine, we can get slightly ahead of the game so we can fall behind. But no, should we talk about the actual convention then?
yeah, let's have a, like, obviously you can stare at all our art. I'm going to pan the camera down a little bit. You can stare at all this lovely stuff we got. and we can talk about the convention a little bit.
So, in terms of getting the convention, I would say it was easier than Hyper Japan.
Way easier, yeah.
So, I actually emailed their customer service because it was too easy, and I was suspicious because Hyper Japan had been so strict. Like, we got set up with a portal for submitting documents, like insurance, risk assessment, and I like emailed them being like, how do you want us to send you this stuff? And they were like, oh yeah, you send us it, you should just probably get it. And it was like, oh, but you're like massive. I kind of thought it would be more strict.
Yeah, so it was kind of lax, but aside from that, we had to email them so many times just to see if we were gonna be there. Like, after we paid, we weren't on the website, we weren't anywhere, we weren't getting any emails about it, and we were just like, hey, what's going on? And it was just like a back-end issue. But we were stressed for like a full month trying to work out why we weren't on the website and like the creator section.
Yeah, but other than that, I think like the actual process was easy enough.
Yeah.
We just kind of like initially put our name down and we're like, if a stall opens up, can we have one? And then they were like, yeah, sure. Whereas with the Hyper Japan, I was like fucking fighting for my life to buy any stall that was left on day one.
Yeah.
So that was different. So getting there was way easier as well because like just the transport links were better. We had to take all the stuff up ourselves this time. Last time my dad very nicely drove us on the first and last day so we could like not carry suitcases on public transport, but it actually wasn't that bad because our stall was tiny and not very elaborate, so it was like one suitcase and a rucksack.
Yeah, I can't imagine, like, because we don't have a car, having all of that bulky stuff, like the big scroll, all that kind of stuff, it just seems like a nightmare.
We like keeping the stall small just because like I don't want to do all of the convention artist stuff.
Yeah, also, like, it is kind of secondary to the YouTube, like, the YouTube's the main thing.
Yeah, like, we do also like making and selling art, but, like, you know, we don't want, like, a 10-foot tall poster and all this, and it's like, you know, it's fine if you do, but we personally don't want to do that.
We also don't have anywhere to put it in our house, it's tiny.
So, like, our setup was super quick, super easy. We had like a shiny curtain my mom had bought from the pound shop that she gave us because she was like, here, I guess this could go on your stall, and it was a fucking nightmare the entire weekend because it was £1 and shit.
Yeah,
and
it kept falling down.
Yeah, like tape it directly to the table.
One guy put his bag down on the floor, picked it up, and took the curtain with him.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a mess.
But it was fun and shiny, you know, so it was like very cobbled together. But, like, you know, then I was, like, watching everyone, like, take down their stalls, and it was, like, taking forever, and we just kind of, you know, slammed everything off the table into a suitcase. So it was also kind of nice for not, I guess, taking up too much time. Like, it made the whole event much easier for us, I think. Like, there was just, like, people were, like, hammering shit together in the creator area. It's like, I don't want to bring a hammer.
Yeah, I think the thing I like about our stall is making the stickers is super cheap. We spent all the money up front for the last convention with, like, you know, the printer and all this kind of stuff. And now we just have it all. And of course, like, that's what you'd have anyway, but I saw someone talk about a convention they were at recently on TikTok, and they spent hundreds of pounds on stock because it's all from suppliers and it's all shipped to them, and they didn't sell much and it did really badly. If we don't sell much, we only really lose out on stall cost.
And, you know, because, like, we like going to conventions. Like, I've been going to that particular convention for over a decade. So, like, you know, paying, like, 40 quid more than the general entry ticket to also have a store maybe make some money back doesn't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Like, we like being there in general, and we like having an excuse to talk to artists about art, so there are other benefits as we went into.
On the main channel?
Yeah, about Hyper Japan. We're not gonna do that style of video for this one, but I guess we can kind of talk about, like, rough numbers, and maybe I'll chuck together some graphs for the video.
The main thing for me is I would say 95% of our stickers were sold to women.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of the same at Hyper Japan, but I feel like there were more guys at Comic Con, and they did not give us a second look most of the time.
And it felt really weird, and it kind of reinforced this idea that we've had and made a video on, that, like, the primary consumer of fan content is women, and the people supporting these industries and these groups are also women.
Yeah, and also pretty much, I would say that was also reflected in the stalls, because, like, almost all of them, it was women.
Yeah.
In the artist area, it was, and in the creator area, there were a couple of guys, yourself included.
Yeah.
But it was mostly women making stuff for other women. the guys tended to be buying stuff from
the businesses, the corporate,
like here's some like £50 Spider-Man fan merch,
Yeah.
like that sort of shit. Actually, I did see a few guys carrying around art, but it was specifically from that fucking shit stall.
Which one?
The one we saw where we thought they were stealing someone's art.
Oh,
it
yeah.
turned out they were collaborating with her, but they're these like £100 glass like pieces. And all they do is they make the product, they use other people's art, and yeah, it's in collaboration, but last time we noticed there was a bunch of AI art, and it's like, it feels so scummy.
Actually, that's a really good lead on. There was a lot of scummy businesses, not in the artist section, not in the creator section, but everywhere else. There was a lot of resellers, basically, like buying a bunch of comics and selling them at the conventions, buying a bunch of Funko Pops and selling them at the conventions, buying cheap AliExpress tat and selling it at the convention.
I even did see one stall that was 100% AI. And I wasn't the only one who noticed, because someone who was standing near me was also like talking to their friend, and I literally turned to him and went, you've noticed too, like look at this, because like they were selling these coasters for like £3 of like AI generated Lego Indiana Jones. Like it was that sort of shit where it's like, here's thing, here's other thing, and it's like you couldn't even be bothered to draw it, and they didn't look that great. Like at a second glance there were like errors, like they definitely put the text on themselves, but it's like, you know, you're having to do all this work to hide the fact it's AI generated slop.
Yeah.
But you know, it was like they had like 100 designs on like loads of different products, because like it was just about making a product, not about making the art.
That sucks.
And it just kind of pissed me off, because like this was kind of in the more general area, but a lot of artists had stalls in this more general area, especially bigger artists. And there was an artist stall right opposite this shit. And it's like, it just really fucking angered me. Because like, how dare you come into this space, kind of take people's potential money, giving them shit products. Like, it's not even a bootleg, it's worse than that. And then, like, you're, like, directly opposite someone who's had to, like, make all of their work themselves. It's like, I kind of hope you feel bad.
Right. So the AI one was obviously the worst, but there was a lot of stalls that were just tat. Like, it wasn't like... I'm not going to complain because, we both bought, like, the mystery bags and all that kind of crap. Like, it's fine that they exist. But there were so many of them.
And they were so big was the other thing. Like, they had these massive stalls, and it's not like places like Artbox where like they are the official seller of these things, and I'm pretty sure Tokyo Toys are also licensed.
Yeah.
Like, it's just they have bought shit online and are flogging it for 3 times the price.
Yeah, and sometimes even more. Like, I saw one shop that was selling a bunch of Japanese snacks and stuff, which is fine. They're all incredibly overpriced, and you can buy all those things not at the convention. Like, when we were younger, even like, pre-2020, getting those Japanese snacks was harder. So when you went to Comic Con, it was like, ooh, I've never seen these before.
Yeah, I'll pick a couple up.
You can buy ramune at Tesco.
Yeah, like this...
No, Sainsbury's.
Whatever one. Anyway, like a big supermarket chain has these things, like, like Hello Pandas, stuff like that. So it's like, what is your purpose here other than to kind of fleece people who don't know better?
Yeah, it literally is what it is. And everything is overpriced, and that's kind of why we wanted our stickers to be really reasonable. And as a result of our pricing, where like the small stickers, the little frogs, which I'll put on screen, they're 50p, and our main stickers are £1, which is low, but we had a lot of like kids who would come up and ask about the stickers, and when we said 50p, they were really excited that they could afford something, because everything else is so expensive.
And it's like, we get it, like, we're not gonna like shit on other artists and say they shouldn't be charging that, but there is definitely a problem where you've got loads of little kids at these events and there's nothing for them. So it was just like, we were, I guess, like in our heads thinking of people like us with adults with no money, but yes, so many kids would come up. I remember I told one parent, because like the kid was like looking through stuff, and I was like, yeah, those ones are 50p, and the kid went back to their parent, and the parent just turned to him and was like, are you sure though? Because like almost nothing else there was 50p, but we had a few things where it would be like, oh, you can get like 2 stickers to like the little kids, and they were super excited about choosing 2 things.
I really get it for the artists, right? Because the stores are getting more expensive, getting to the conventions is expensive, buying the stock if you buy it online is expensive, so you want to make as much money as possible. But those big stalls.
Yeah.
I would rather there was just more artists
I
and
know.
smaller sellers.
Because Artist Alley is getting like bigger every year, and this year and last year, last May, they had the Creator Pavilion, which is where we were. So like there's more space being made for like creators and artists. But then like I'd go to the other side of the hall and it's like, here's the cosplay parade presented by AliExpress. And it's like, how the fuck are you running a cosplay masquerade emphasizing people making their own shit and you are sponsored by AliExpress? Like, the fuck? But yeah, so that sucked. So I'm pretty sure it was almost the entire XL Center this time. It kind of varies in size sometimes, but this was kind of one of the bigger ones.
It did feel more spread out though, maybe because the EGX section was so big.
Yeah, so they had EGX, that's why there were way more game demos. That was really cool. I'd like to see them maybe do more with having EGX, or kind of better, because the way they advertised it, I thought they just kind of stuck EGX in a corner.
Yeah.
As its own kind of separate convention. That wasn't it. It has been fully absorbed into Comic-Con. So I feel like there could have been better ways to integrate it, even if it was just like better advertising.
It's interesting to merge the two, because Comic-Con was already getting maximum visitors every time.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're trying to draw the gaming crowd. I mean, the gaming crowd was already coming, but like the EGX crowd.
Yeah, like I don't know. When I was walking around, it was busy enough, but it wasn't as busy as anywhere else I had been in the convention at that point. So I guess I want to see what they do going forward with it, and see if they can maybe find some more interesting ways to integrate it with Comic-Con as a whole. And like the food was way worse this time. Like there were like loads of like normal, like I say like sellers, like caterers who are normally there, who seem to have been like foregone this time round.
So no fried chicken, which is like a classic. You said you saw some takoyaki.
Yeah, but it was like £10. Like it was like all of these way more established companies that it felt like way bigger. Like, you know, like they were turning up in like food trucks as opposed to setting up a stall.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of disappointing. I had like a really shit experience with one of them. I just got some ice cream mochi because I didn't want to buy like a full snack or like meal. And the queuing was atrocious. Like the queue was really long and I was like, okay. And then waiting for the food, there was genuinely over 100 people waiting for food. People were getting pissed off, people were getting orders wrong and trying to like go back to complain, couldn't physically get through the crowd. I finally get my number called out and I get handed a fucking Little Moons packaging that has been cut out of a full 6-pack and is open and like is just sharp plastic, and I paid £3.50 for it. And I was just kind of like looking at them like, are you fucking serious? Because like there was like no way I would know that's what it was at that point. So I felt very, very betrayed.
I kind of feel like that's the perfect example of how I felt at the convention. So we had a stall, it was amazing, a dream of both of ours. Speaking to all the artists was incredible, doing all this stuff was really, really fun, but no one has any money. Like, we don't have any money either, and everything is so expensive. So like, I'm not going to spend money on most of the convention. It's actually priced out of our range. Even though we were making money there, it's still so expensive.
Like, I definitely noticed most of the people around us were eating food behind their stalls that they had brought with them.
Yeah.
No one was buying food from the convention to eat because, like, you know, you're going to be spending like 15 quid to get a decent meal and a drink. Just get a fucking Tesco meal deal on your way there, or like we did, like I made onigiri. Like, I made sandwiches, like we bought snacks from Tesco and then had like just like a 6-pack of crisps under the table because it's just not worth it.
Yeah, and it's like, if you're new to these conventions, it shouldn't be expected that you fork out £200 to have a good time.
Like, you're already paying for access to this event, and then like everything else is just death by 1,000 cuts, except not really, because it's more very brutal stab wounds. I can't believe it was £3.50.
Yeah,
£3.50. For that price, I thought I was gonna get like 2. Like, you know, kind of like they do it like Yo Sushi and places like that where you get the 2 in the little package. That's kind of more what I was expecting, which is still overpriced for that, but you know, it's Comic-Con. Not one. And it had been on the side for like way longer than it should have had as well. Like, it was just a fucking disaster. And like, The thing that was really annoying about that store was they were overrun, everyone was getting stressed, they just kept accepting orders, and it's like, someone needed to step in and be like, no orders for the next 10 minutes. Because, like, it was such a dense crowd waiting for their food, people couldn't hear their number being called. Like, it was really not good, and it's like, someone needed to do something in that situation.
I would like to see less massive businesses and more, like, small, I guess more smaller businesses.
Yeah, so, like, why would you have, you know, a dozen food stalls? We've got this big, like, truck here that does nachos or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's, like, one Japanese place and one Taiwanese place. Go crazy.
We don't need to accept 3 different anime stalls. We have this one big company, and their stall. My god, every year I look for this one anime store where they do this incredible deal and we buy a bunch of anime for, like, relatively cheap. It wasn't there this time, or at least I couldn't find it. But I did find this anime store, I can't remember the name of it, but they had like 30, 40 pound anime just sitting there, and I was like, fuck off.
Yeah, like, it was super inaccessible. The same for the manga stalls. Like, it was like, ooh, like 10% off or something. And they had a price list because, this is another fucking thing, they were all American. Not the stall, the manga. So all of the prices were in dollars on the back, and then they had a price chart to break down how much that would be in pounds, and then they had one that was also the 10% off, and it's like, you've been 10% off the whole time, why do that? But anyway, it went up to £200.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was looking at the store and I was like, there is nothing here that should fucking cost £200.
I kind of want a deal. Like, I'm at Comic-Con, sell it to me at some kind of, like, reasonable discount, or do fun deals, or do something interesting. If it's the price of me, like, if it's a bookshop price, I'll just go to the bookshop. Like, it's not exclusive. None of the food is exclusive to Comic-Con, none of the manga or anime are exclusive to Comic-Con. For those prices, I could go to HMV and buy some.
Yeah.
So why would I buy them here? I guess is kind of...
Like, it definitely feels like it's become a lot more one-sided, so there's no kind of care about the people who are going to buy these things. That's why I really like Sweatdrop, actually, because they very obviously seem like they care about giving people things for a decent price. And it's just really annoying, I guess, seeing these spaces become so pay to enter. Like, you know, you want to get into reading manga. Okay, well, this one series is going to cost you £500 to buy all of it. Hope you're not a 14-year-old who gets like £5 a month in pocket money. Yeah,
you can't buy manga for £5 anymore. Like, not to sound like old bastards, but I feel like media needs to be somewhat accessible.
Like, it just feels really bad, like, to just walk around and be like, I no longer feel welcome in this space, or like, I can no longer interact with this space. And there was just like, so much corporate shit, like, you know, Crunchyroll sponsoring this, AliExpress is sponsoring this, Disney is here, Amazon is here, and it's like, I get they need to make money somehow, like, as a convention, but, like, they had full-on, like, movie sets built for these companies, and it's like, ooh, photo op, and it's like, okay, I guess, like, if I were to sum it up, everything felt like advertising, none of it felt like a convention.
Yeah, like, I didn't actually feel any of the new anime. Like, I saw a few Dandadan cosplayers, I saw a few of the other recent anime, but, like, it didn't feel like the same community of people.
Yeah, like, it felt very different. It felt very commercial, very mass market, and it's like, if you're going to be mass market, you can't be worse than that mass market that already exists. Like, what are you doing that's better than HMV? What are you doing that's better than, like, going online on Amazon? Like, why should I come here and spend my money on you? Because as far as, like, I think the two of us are concerned, the only thing that's really accessible that isn't, like, online or anywhere else are artists.
Yeah, and yeah, to be clear, we're not talking about artists with any of this complaining, because they are their own entity.
Yeah, like, you have different costs. Like, you have, like, to support yourself alongside this. Like, there's so much more that goes into it than just selling shit.
Yeah. Artists at least the reason to go to Comic-Con. You might as well just have an artists convention.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because, you know, I ended up doing more research into Comic Cat again for this new video. And yeah, just, like, comics, or, like, artists, like, just, that's all it is.
Although I did like there was a writing section.
There was, yeah, the writer's block, that was new. It was, like, right next to us as well, so we awkwardly walked past a few times. But no, so that was really nice. Like, they are doing things to kind of bring in more artists, but then it's like they're doing 10 times more to bring in corporate sponsorships.
The vibes were off, I guess, is how I would describe it. Even though we made good money, we covered all of our costs, other artists did really well. Like,
triple what we did at Hyper Japan for some rough numbers there. We sold way more. There were just more people. I think I saw there was 100,000 people over the weekend. It really fucking felt like it. Like, it was way nicer, like, in terms of, like, footfall, like, where we were definitely getting more people. At Hyper Japan, we kind of, like, all of the artists sort of got stuck in a corner.
Yeah.
But it actually wasn't that big a convention either, so it felt weird to be stuck in a corner when it's, like, everything else is really far away from everything else. But, like, so that was super nice. Like, we had loads of people, we could chat to loads of people. There was definitely a more varied overall demographic, I would say, at Comic-Con, which isn't a bad thing. Like, you know, not everyone who's there should be there for our stuff. Like, they had their own places to go. But it just felt like they were prioritizing a section of the nerd community that I think is already incredibly well catered to.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it.
Because, like, another thing, because we were talking to a lot of artists, they're starting to get priced out of Artist Alley. That was one thing a few people told us, was that they were in the Creator Pavilion because they also had social media presence, but they couldn't get into Artist Alley.
Yeah.
Or, like, they couldn't get into Artist Alley, so they got a normal stall, like, out in the wild. And I was talking to one artist, and they told me they did worse there because people just weren't in the headspace to buy art in that area. They wanted to buy merch, so their store was doing worse because they couldn't be in Artist Alley. And it's like, there are so many artists who want to be here. Maybe at this point it just needs to be 50% Artist Alley, like full on, like split it down the middle, because the way the convention's laid out, there's like halls on either side of a like pathway. So like one side just all art, all artists, other side commercial bullshit.
Yeah, like, you know, take 3 of the Funko Pop stalls, don't let them come back, replace those with 15 or more artist stalls.
Like, is it even gonna, like, make you less money? Because, like, I know those, like, main stalls were, like, at least over $1,000. We paid £215 for our little table.
Yeah.
How many little tables can you fit in that, like, $1-2 grand space, right?
I know, right?
Because, like, you know, if it's 5, you're actually making the same amount of money.
But yeah, I guess that was just kind of our experience overall. We had loads of fun. I was exhausted. I was not feeling well by the end, but we had loads of fun. We spoke to a lot of people. We got some really cool art, as you can see, and we bought a bunch of stuff for presents. We sold really well. We advertised a little bit as well. People didn't really pay attention to our scan for a free sticker sign.
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of why it was a little annoying with the creator area. Just, like, you know, it was nice, it was more artists, but the creator section definitely felt lost. Like, people would come up to us and be like, why does it say anime video essays on your store? And I was like, because we make them.
Yeah.
Like, I get you're being interested, like, no, like, ill will, but it was quite funny. Like, why are you here? And it's like, creator.
Yeah.
Big letters nearby.
Like, people would be buying our stickers, and then I would have to kind of go, like, are you interested in this? Like, I'd have to, like, sell it. Because we didn't really have a good way of, like, presenting it. We weren't given screens or anything. Some people brought, like, tablets and stuff, which was smart. But because our videos are, like, have anime footage in them, I didn't want to sit there showing anime footage.
Yeah, because it's kind of normally more the audio that's important. I did notice that with Eddache.
He was just showing
just kind of showing, like, the live-action segments from his videos. And we don't have live-action segments.
On YouTube, it's totally fair use because it's entirely transformative. You couldn't, like, gain any of those experiences from watching our video. It's just its own thing. Showing it without audio kind of removes that.
Yeah, like, a lot of it is the audio that provides the context for it being transformative, I guess. So, like, that was a little annoying. And I get, you know, like, giving, like, 30 random-ass people screens isn't, like, the best thing, but, you know, like, those stalls had no power. Like, you had to pay extra for that. You had to fucking pay extra for Wi-Fi, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we had a lot of issues with the Wi-Fi, my god.
Yeah, and we weren't the only ones. I saw a few people who basically switched to cash only because their card readers were barely functioning.
I did see there was a Wi-Fi network set up, or like some kind of data network that was called We Hate the Comic-Con Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because like this happens every year, and the solution to that isn't charging hundreds of pounds. It's just like, it's a known thing, and you've not really done anything to actually have it.
Yeah.
So it's a little frustrating.
So yeah, it was kind of, I guess to end the video off, because I can see how long it's running.
We had a really good time. It was super fun. I loved being there, loved talking to artists. It was an amazing experience overall. We ran into somehow like our entire uni alumni.
Yes, we did. We ran into all of our friends who were there.
So that was like super nice. Like, it is really nice for bringing people together, but like, can we please just try to then put those people first at some point?
It felt like a really clear reflection of the entertainment industry at the moment, where big businesses care about no one, and people still buy all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, not everyone knows what goes on, so, like, I'm not gonna put the full blame on them, but then it's like, why are you enjoying these things and you have no interest in what goes on around them, or how they're made, or, like, that people are behind these products?
Yeah.
I don't know, there's like 80 videos we could write on all of this.
I know.
Someday.
Main conclusion, don't buy shit from AliExpress. It is, at best, cheap tat, at worst, poisonous, so just don't buy anything from them.
Yeah, and stolen, and, you know, poorly made, and
Yeah.
all this stuff. Just don't. It's fine. Like, go to Artist Alley.
Exactly. That's why you should go, and I would love to see more conventions that are just for artists.
We should start our own comic app.
Ah, I would love that. Anyway, that's the end of this video.
Check out our main channel, check out our Patreon, check out our Ko-fi.
Yeah, if you want to buy any of the stickers we sold at the convention, they're all on the Ko-fi. If you want to support our channel, like you said, Patreon. And we've got a new main channel coming out this year.
Yeah, that's the aim.
Bye!
Bye!